The king of hip-hop, Kendrick Lamar, and a queen of R&B, SZA, have displayed the perfect visuals for their #1 Billboard record, Luther, finally giving the record the deserving full-circle moment that it truly deserves since last year when it was released on Kendrick Lamar's iconic GNX album that is arguably becoming one of his greatest albums of all time, thanks to records like Luther. Not to mention, their highly anticipated Grand National Tour that's preparing for its first week of what will be a very historic hip-hop tour starting April 19th in Minneapolis. Kendrick Lamar and SZA's Luther record has been #1 for 7 consecutive weeks on the Billboard charts, and now with this very cinematic music video for this classic record, it couldn't have come at a better time, as hip-hop's biggest entertainer and sweetest pastry from the streets of Degrassi, Drizzle Pie,
so good. Tender to the point of almost being fluffy, but it does have that denser vibe, full of cinnamon.
is looking to rise to the #1 spot with his fire BBL single, calling everyone's phone with Nokia.
Who's calling that shit?
Even though I'm not calling that shit is a fire record for the OV hoes to bend their ass over with their hands on their knees for their certified lover cake, Drizzle Marie.
Baby girl, is that your bestie? I'm an ice boy for y'all like Gretzky. Impress me, baby girl.
As the song goes up 4 spots from its last week position at #7 on the Billboard Hot 100, going to its original peak position at #3, which makes sense as Mr. Pie recently released a very underwhelming IMAX masterpiece video for the Nokia record, where I'm very surprised he didn't have a bunch of baddies from Houston, Atlanta, Vegas with a 90s tape recorder, kind of like how he did with SZA and Sexy Red for the Rich Baby Daddy video, a homage song to his rich baby daddy, Lucien Grange, allegedly.
I still got some love deep inside of me, right to me.
So that way the Nokia video could really connect with the sound and 69 vibes of the Nokia record. But instead, it seems that Champagne Karen was way more concerned about throwing more subliminal shots in the air like he was a boy in the hood.
What's wrong? Shit. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. Nobody fucking you motherfuckers, come on.
As he clearly makes little jabs at Kendrick, with the most obvious being the end of the video where all of the certified lover owls are let out of their cages, which is a direct response from the 69 God to Kendrick Lamar, caging the OVO owl in his music video for the greatest hip-hop diss record of all time, Not Like Us, where Kendrick Lamar was simply asking the certified lover cake,
"Are you my friend? Are we locked in? Then stab this way."
but still, with a somewhat decent music video and a very dedicated 69 fan base, I can't hate here and say that the Nokia video has not helped Mr. Cakes aim for that #1 spot, giving Kendrick some competition on the Billboard Hot 100, respectfully. But in all honesty, there is no way that the Nokia music video can compare to the cinematic approach to the Luther video, where you literally feel like you're watching a mini movie love story directed for IMAX, unlike Nokia, where it claims to have this IMAX approach, but really lacks creativity and connecting to the sound of the record that it's trying to promote. And with this cinematic mini movie for the Luther record, it can easily help maintain its #1 spot with this video, in my humble opinion. Now, before I discuss why I feel the Luther music video has solidified the record as a classic for generations to come, let me give a special shout out to the very talented Toronto creative director for this music video, Karena Evans, a very talented music director who is still able to capture the GNX theme for the iconic Love record and music video, showcasing the GNX car that reflects the era of Kendrick Lamar's GNX album. Karena Evans also has a strong catalog with other music videos, which include SZA for her Garden video in 2018, and the very underrated music video for Chloe's Have Mercy in 2021. And we can't forget the incredible work that Evans did as the creative director for her fellow Toronto native, Drizzle Pie, and his music videos for In My Feelings, I'm Upset, Nice for What, and God's Plan. With Karena Evans' amazing work on the Luther video, I bet Peter Pan Graham is in his feelings and upset.
I'm upset, so offended that I had to double check.
Wondering why he was nice for some reason to Karena Evans, but Drizzle Marie, can't you see that Karena becoming the music director for the Luther record was all in God's plan?
God's plan, God's plan.
But let me not play no face and act like Birdman for a second and put some respect on her name.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it. I playing with my fucking name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
Because Karena Evans also has a strong TV and film catalog, being a director for a numerous amount of short films and TV shows, including Snowfall, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and the new version of Gossip Girl. So even if Drizzle Cake wants to feel a way on purpose,
Now you're throwing it back in my face. You think I deserve it?
Karena Evans has already established her own success that is completely separate and so far gone from Champagne Karen. Sorry Not Sorry. Here is why the Luther music video solidifies the record as a classic for generations to come, in my honest opinion, paying homage to the sample and the message of the record. Starting with the message, as the Luther record is a clear message of authentic love between partners, showing the raw and unfiltered side of pain and heartache, with moments of pure love and affection for their significant other. A love story that's common to a majority of the same fans who are watching the visuals for this record. The simple yet cinematic aesthetic approach to the video really captures the real version of love between partners in our current society. More specifically, Black love when you get to the heart of it. But the homage to the sample record is what really moves me with this music video in particular, as it perfectly pays homage to the voices of the sample record, the very iconic Cheryl Lynn, and one of the greatest R&B voices of all time, Luther Vandross, with their 1982 rendition of the record, If This World Were Mine.
I would place at your feet all that I own. So good to me. I would make you a king. You could have anything. Oh, when you squeeze me, every sky would be blue.
As you hear Cheryl's voice echo through the video, as Kendrick Lamar's love interest is reminiscing of him being there with her at that exact moment in the elevator. Then to hearing Luther's breathtaking voice at the end of the video,
Give you the flower, birds and the bees. That would be all I need.
where it leaves you feeling goosebumps and nostalgic to the record Cheryl and Luther recorded, where it makes you remember the very first time you heard the 1982 rendition of the record. It's also very important to acknowledge the original creators of If This World Were Mine before Cheryl Lynn and Luther Vandross, giving many flowers to the legendary Marvin Gaye and magnificent Tammy Terrell with their true original 1967 version of If This World Were Mine.
If this world were mine, you've been so good to me.
I'd make you a king. You could have anything. This world were mine.
Which I can honestly say is my favorite version of the record, but this brings me back to why the Luther music video really solidifies Kendrick Lamar and SZA's version of the record, a classic record for the two artists. It perfectly pays homage to the Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn version of If This World Were Mine, which in all honesty is the most popular version before Kendrick Lamar and SZA redid the song themselves in 2024. While I really love the Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell version, Luther and Cheryl Lynn's version has always been considered the best version to the majority of music fans over time. And with the Luther music video from Kendrick Lamar and SZA, it perfectly pays homage to that version of Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn, making you want to go back and listen to the Luther and Cheryl Lynn version where you're feeling goosebumps with both Luther and If This World Were Mine. It allows a new generation, which includes millennials and even Gen Z, to go back in time and appreciate the classics that these legends like Luther Vandross, Cheryl Lynn, Marvin Gaye, and Tammy Terrell have left behind, for music lovers of all kinds. So to Kendrick Lamar and to SZA, thank you for being legendary and iconic for my generation. And many thank yous to Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn, Marvin Gaye, and Tammy Terrell for leaving behind the iconic record known to be
This world were mine.
Thank you so much for watching today's video, and let me know what your thoughts are for the Luther music video. Do you have the same sentiments like I do, where you feel like it's a full circle moment for the record? I really think it is, and in my opinion, perfect timing for Kendrick Lamar and SZA to maintain that #1 Billboard spot, hoping to aim for its 8th consecutive week. And even if it doesn't maintain that #1 spot, this record has been solidified as a classic well before the music video was released. But again, it's a nice piece to the record, deserving that music video from the beginning of its release. Also, comment below on what your favorite version of If This World Were Mine is. Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, or Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn. And just like Kendrick Lamar, I'm conflicted, because if these walls could talk, they would tell you that Luther Vandross is one of my favorite R&B singers of all time. He has too many records where they give me goosebumps, just like Whitney Houston, where it makes a grown man want to cry. But that Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell version, I have a soft spot for 60s R&B, especially the Motown Smokey Robinson era. So that Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, see, I'm getting goosebumps right now. That is my favorite version. But again, this is why I love the Luther music video and the record, more specifically from Kendrick Lamar and SZA. It really makes me appreciate Luther and Cheryl Lynn's version. It makes me understand why it is the more popular version for many others who first heard it back in the 80s, especially when you have a powerhouse like Luther and Cheryl. That's just crazy. And I love me some Cheryl. But girl, let me tell you, when you got Luther going up against you, you can't win with Luther. But that's just my honest opinion. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, go be amazing and have an amazing rest of your day.